this is the second part of section 7.3. So, remember we said on the previous video that if we have opposite denominators, then we have to use the trick of multiplying one of the expressions by -1 over -1. Well, here's where that situation occurs. Because our denominator for our first expression is x squared minus y squared, and the denominator in the second term is the opposite of that, y squared minus x squared. So what we do is let's multiply that first term by a -1 over a -1. And so we're going to multiply -1 over -1 times 3x over x squared minus y squared. And then we have minus 3y over y squared minus x squared. Now, if we do this multiplication here, we end up with a -3x over, now remember we have to distribute this -1 to the whole denominator. So we have -x squared plus y squared. And then we still have our second term, so we're subtracting a 3y over y squared minus x squared. Okay, now remember we can add numbers in any order. So -x squared plus y squared is really the same thing as y squared minus x squared. And now we're in great shape because now our denominators look exactly the same. So all we have to do is subtract our two numerators and put them over our denominator. So we have -3x minus 3y over y squared minus x squared. Now we need to factor. So our greatest common factor in the numerator is a -3, which leaves us with an x plus y. And our denominator is the difference of two squares. And remember, the difference of two squares factors, in this case, y minus x, y plus x. Now again, since we can add two numbers in any order, x plus y is the same thing as y plus x. So those cancel, and we're left with -3 over y minus x for our final answer. Okay, the same thing happens in problem number 4. So you see that our denominators are the same two numbers, just subtracted in opposite order. So this time, let's multiply sorry about that. Let's multiply the second term by -1 over -1. So when we do that, we have x squared over x minus 3 plus a -9 over -3 plus x. Remember, we have to distribute that -1 through all the terms in the denominator. And that leaves us with x squared over x minus 3 plus a negative 9 over, remember we can change the order those are written in, so instead of negative 3 plus x, we can say x minus 3. Now that our denominators are the same, we just add the numerators. So x squared plus a negative 9 gives us x squared minus 9 over x minus 3. And now we have to simplify. The numerator is the difference of two squares, so we have x minus 3 times x plus 3 all over x minus 3. And the x minus 3's cancel, which leaves us with x plus 3 over 1, but we don't have to write the 1 in the denominator, so just x plus 3.